the water, Barakatah, Kahalayimla, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom salutations to the hopeful elect that's fighting the good fight of faith in truth and sincerity and wholeheartedly. And shalom unto the Aqua, which is the women believers. Shalom unto you. It say, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. The reason I'm starting with this scripture is because lessen your talk with unbelievers. See, as the day's approaching, we getting closer to that evil day. And, when you first receive the truth, you're happy. You go tell your family and friends, majority of us who told our family or friends rejected it. But then when you in the truth, when you come across the knowledge in the beginning, you tell them more times than you are supposed to, because before you get seasoned in this truth, you're trying to basically convince people that this is the truth. And it all happens in the spirit, because that's just the Lord sealing their fate. Because, when you first come into this truth, you tell your best friend, you tell your favorite cousin, your mom, your dad, favorite auntie, uncle, they rejected it, but you continue to keep doing it until you finally be like, you know what, fuck it. But that's just the spirit of the Lord, but, I was sitting here meditating on this lesson, because, when you go into the scriptures, it talks about, actually it's in Matthew 10:36. It said that your enemies, should be in your household, and then when you go to Matthew 10, it talks about brothers delivering people up. Because, everybody who say Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, or Shalom, ain't a brother. So we in a dangerous thing. That's why it's about being circumspect. And this scripture right here, sheep, right? The nature of a sheep is timid. Another word for timid is temperate. You're supposed to be temperate in all things. You're supposed to be circumspect. See, we sheep out here in the midst of wolves. We ain't punks, but we ain't a tough guy either. At least that's not the persona you're supposed to portray. Now, of course, we will defend ourselves. But for the most part, you always supposed to be trying to get out of conflict. That's a wise man, But as we walk through the valley of shadow of death, and the scripture said that we are sheep led to the slaughter, you got to be mindful of that. Don't bring extra into your life. We already, what's called public enemy number one. We already public enemy number one. Don't bring more strife into your life. Matter of fact, I'm going to read it again. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So serpents, usually on the left-hand side when it talks about serpents in the scriptures. But remember, the Lord created both sides. All right. So serpents is a wise person. Now, the one that was in the garden, that was wise on the left-hand side. Yahweh Shai is wise on the right-hand side. So the serpent that is being portrayed in this scripture is talking about wisdom. You got to know how to be witty in this thing called life. You got to know how to talk to people. You got to look at your surroundings and adapt. This is that's what it's talking about. Walk it in the spirit. Seeing danger before it comes. See, me, I preach by myself. I'm on the highways and byways by myself. So I conduct myself a certain way. I don't be that rah-rah spirit and trying to cause conflict. I just preach the word. It been plenty of times where I had conflict, verbally with a brother. But if I was in the world, we would have fought because I didn't have wisdom then. Now, you always got to remember You're representing Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So you can't be a fool. And the scripture said being blameless. Matter of fact, I think it's 2. I want to say it's 2 and 16, maybe 15. Let's see. Yep. That you may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke. See, when you walk in the spirit, you don't have to worry about that. So going back to, even on the highways and byways, forget about me, preach about myself, even brothers in the camp. You're supposed to conduct yourself a certain way because you got to be blameless. You can't be, labeled as these ninjas out here. I ain't going to say the N word. I'm going to say ninjas. All right. You can't be like them. You're supposed to be set apart. The scripture said, be ye holy, be ye separate. If somebody turn on your video or you end up doing something stupid and you're all on the news and then they got a clip of you looking like a ninja, it's two ninjas. Remember the Boondocks episode called A Nigga Moment. All right. So you having a nigga moment. I had to say it because that's the name of the episode. But you having a nigga moment. And now you who is the prophet in the situation? You know what I'm saying? You don't look like a prophet. So, I'm taking this situation many ways because you really got to know how to conduct yourself. And the scripture says that death and life is in the power of the tongue. I want to say that's Proverbs 18 and 21. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that next just to make sure, but let me finish this. That you may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world. So you can't shine when a ninja can make you look like a ninja. All right? Because that's what they are, man. You have to. See, here's the thing. It's really no other words than the N word for these N words. All right. Like, seriously, though, like when you look into the world and you looking at these Jakes, man, these Israelites, man, these are N words, man. They're not, as the scripture said in Galatians 6:16, you got Israel and the Most High, and then you just got Israel, man. These people gotta go. But you're supposed to be better than them. You're supposed to be a light in this perverse and crooked world. So if we are sheep, sent forth into the world, in the midst of wolves, then you got to know how to conduct yourself. You got to know how to talk to people. You got to be circumspect. The times are evil. So now, let me see. I want to say 18:21. Yes. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So whatever way you want to take it. See, when you on the highways and byways and you prophesying, that's life. But when you are speaking outside of the doctrine, because you got people who out there prophesying but speaking against the doctrine, that's death. How about this? How about if a dude is being all hostile and you get hostile with him and then y'all start to throw fisticuffs? Guess what? You're in the wrong. Because in that moment, you are in the seat of an authority. All right? You're a spectacle unto the world. Everybody looking for you to fall. So if you don't conduct yourself in the right way, you're automatically at fault. And then the Lord is going to be displeased with you because you should know better. So it's been plenty of times where I could have got out of character, but the Lord, through the grace and mercy of the Lord, because I am not SHIT. All right. But I know how to conduct myself. I fear the Lord, so I do the best that I can to please him. Even when I want to slap somebody, even when I want to choke somebody, I always think about Yahweh Shai because I don't want to get slapped or choked by him. All right. And it ain't going to be a slap or choke. It's going to be fire. I ain't trying to be on fire. All right. And I'm talking about the missiles, not hell, as this damn Christian ass doctrine going around again. It's crazy. From Hebrew Israelites though. But so going back to we are sheeps, sent forth in the midst of wolves, man. As the scripture said, we are sheep led to the slaughter. So, a sheep is a timid animal. And also, it lacks protection. That's why it's always in flocks. Yahweh Shai is our shepherd. The scripture says that the angel of the Lord encamp around those that fear him. So we're not on the highways and byways with fear. So if a dude come up and want to throw them things, we're always going to try to dismiss it and try to calm the situation down. But sometimes you might have to throw down. So it's all about walking in the spirit and always praying. All right. See, I'm the kind of man, and I hope the Lord continue to sup with me in that way. But I'm the kind of man when situations is happening, I'm talking to the Lord the whole time. All right. I'm really talking to the Lord the whole time. So you have to be mindful of what you are. You are a man that's public enemy number one, because the scripture said that you should be hated for my name's sake. So why would you bring extra attention on yourself? Now, going back to family and friends, majority of your family and friends, you probably don't hang around them like that no more. But guess what? They still know of you. They still know what you believe in. That's why you shouldn't be all close to them. If you want to talk to them on the phone here and there, there's nothing wrong with that. But y'all shouldn't be hanging out and going to the club and playing basketball, all that stuff. We ain't in that time, man. We ain't in that time. We are in a dangerous time. That's why the prophet, is it Amos? Damn. It's Micah. Maybe it's Micah. I'm gonna say Micah. But I just got a brain fart. It's crazy. It's Satan. See, that's not it. So that's not it either. So what? Damn, what is it? Is it Amos? Let me try Amos. See, it was Amos. See? So anyways, the prophet Amos, he know what it is. All right. He said, therefore, the prudent. Now, what the scripture say in Proverbs 22:3? The prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. Another form of hiding yourself is shutting the hell up. All right. Allowing the Lord to speak, which is the prophecy. See, you already told people the truth. They didn't get it. So now they're going to find out the hard way. So it said, therefore, the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time. So we are in the evil time. We're approaching the evil day. This ain't the time, as if I remember the title, Lessen your talk with unbelievers. Now the scripture also says this: be at peace with all men if possible. Romans 12:18. So yeah, if you run into your homeboy, you don't got to be hostile with him. You can even talk about if a nigga, if he bring up something like, hey man, remember that time we was playing, PlayStation, man? I used to kick your ass in Madden. You can talk about that. It ain't nothing wicked about that. But if you used to be in the streets and he start bringing up the streets and shit, then you be like, hey bro, that ain't me no more. You know what I'm saying? Which they should already know that. But I'm just saying, if a nigga want to be a demon and bring up some old stuff, want to kindle old wicked shit that you used to do, because that's the thing. That's why Yahweh Shah said this. People don't respect you for who you are because they grew up with you. So it said, and they were offended in him, but Yahweh Shah said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, because guess what? We will be honored one day. We will be honored. And it's actually that day is approaching very soon, because the scripture said that, my servant shall eat, my servant shall drink. So while everybody is, howling for vexation of spirit, we're going to be rejoicing. So it's not that we are not without honor, save he in his own country and in his own house. So people in your household, your friends, people that know you from the city, people that you went to school with, they don't look at you. If your name is Tay, that's Lil Tay, man. Lil Tay. Man, me and Lil Tay used to do this and do that, man. That nigga ain't what he say he is, man. He in a trend right now. Your ass could be in the truth for 5 years. That's not a long time, you know what I'm saying? But at least it's something to start with. But you still have people who will talk shit and be like, oh yeah, he gonna fall out of that pretty soon. People want you to fall out. You know what I'm saying? Because they want you to come back to what you used to be. You was the fun guy. Now you're serious. You ain't joking no more. You know? So the point is this. The evil day is approaching, and you have to be circumspect with everybody. Everybody. Even brothers that you think is brothers. Now, I always say this, because at the end of the day, the scripture says this: judge nothing before the time, for the Yahweh Shai will reveal the hearts of men. That's 1 Corinthians 4:5. So you can't look at a person and say that's an agent, or I don't know about that brother, but you ain't stupid either. If a brother do something and he keep on doing stuff, and you circumspect. You just pay attention to it. You just pay attention to things. That's what it's about, being circumspect, looking around you. All right? You're spectating around you. You gotta understand what world you in. Jeremiah 9:4 said, trust not every brother. All right. Matter of fact, I haven't read that in a long time. I'm gonna get it. It said, take ye heed every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother, for every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders. So that's why you got to be mindful who you talk to and who you allow in your circle, who you allow in your vicinity, your energy. That's why the scripture said don't allow everybody into your house, for they have many trains. That's in the Apocrypha. You know, many trains is tricks, something up their sleeve. So even people that you once loved and you grew up with, you got to watch them too. I got a brother who I love dearly. All right. And my story is kind of different because like he's the godfather to my children, and he actually do good by my children. That's a blessing of the Lord. You know, that's a good friend right there. He still do for my kids. Even he know my beliefs. He know that I ain't the man that I used to be, but he still do what he do. So yeah, I still talk to him. He know where I stand. But do we hang out? Do we go to the club? Do we take trips? Do we do all those type of things? No. Because he first of all, he won't even ask me because he know I'm going to say no anyway. So the point is that if you got a friend who understands, because that's the thing, you might have a friend who don't believe, but he respects you, you know? And then if that's the case, then hey, thank Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. But the point is that you got to watch what you do, watch what you say, realize the evil time, understand that you're in the valley of shadow of death, you behind enemies' lines, and you the number one enemy. You enemy to your friends and families, and your enemy to your oppressor, Esau, Edom, who is your number one enemy. All right. But guess who's the closest enemy? Your family and friends. They can get a hold of you quicker. Esau can do something to make them turn against you. And the scripture says so. All right. The Lord said he going to cause division. He said he going to send a sword. Sword divide things and destroy things. All right. He said that it's going to be, matter of fact, it says, suppose that I come to give peace on earth. I tell you no, but rather division. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter against the mother. This is the Lord doing it, though. The mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. This is what the Lord wants, because he's separating the sheep from the goats. All right? He's separating those who is his and who is not. Don't be caught up in that. Don't allow nobody to get in the way of your salvation. And don't bring extra baggage to you. You're already an enemy, all right, in this world. Don't bring extra attention to yourself. Stop talking. As the scripture said, the prudent shall keep silence in that time, because it's an evil time. I got so many more scriptures, but I feel like I went long already. But hopefully this video is edifying, and shalom.